All right, guys, we're live on the Johnny Allen 30-minute podcast. How you guys doing out there? First of all, I am Johnny Allen, and I am the host of the podcast. I'm going live tonight because I have a lot to discuss. Excuse me, I'm just kind of down in the audio right now. But I got a lot to talk about, guys. So we're going to kind of get with it. I got some things to discuss with the followers of my podcast and some things to kind of clarify a few things, and I'll just get right to it. So anyway, if you're on, thanks. I appreciate it. I got the live chat on if you guys want to chime in on anything. First of all, it's actually May the 12th, 2022. Hello, Sir Charles, if you're out there watching, I appreciate that. And Lori and so many of the people that actually follow me every week, I do appreciate that. But without further ado, like I said, I'm live tonight because I got a little bit of I got some things to talk about. Like I said, I got a little explaining to do. I have some future plans with this podcast, and then we're going to talk about coffee a little bit, and then I'm going to end with the Indianapolis 500. I live near Indianapolis, Indiana. In May we have the 500-mile race, and we'll talk just a little bit about that. But as you guys know, I drink coffee on this podcast, and today I got actually in honor of the 500 coming up, I got the Indy 500, or actually the Firestone, mug right there, the Firestone mug, and this is like a tire down there, and my coffee's really full. So let's take a swig, guys. Thanks for joining me today on the live podcast. I do appreciate it. The coffee is good. So anyway, we'll get to what I want to talk about as far as future plans with the podcast. I'm going to announce some things. I'm going to clarify a few things. And so let's get with it. Okay. First of all, I want to clarify some things. My last couple podcasts, especially the last week's podcast, well, to kind of back up a little bit, with my podcast, in case you're new to what I'm doing here, I just talk about everyday life situations. In the last couple years, I've had this thing going. I've had a lot of life situations. You know, I work in the healthcare industry during the day, and I do my podcasting every Thursday evening. It's more of a hobby. It's more fun. It's more for fun. It's more of a just kind of an outlet and a connection with the people that follow my podcast. And I do appreciate it. I started 2 years ago, and basically I just talked about everything from the traffic to the weather to, how people aggravate you with some things, good things. I'll talk about cooking. I'm also a musician, and I would kind of cross-pollinate my music stuff going on the outside with this podcast. Mainly the reason is to keep you guys updated on what's going on with my music and the bands I was involved in, and the band that I am involved in currently, Crossroads Saints. So I was just kind of keeping you guys up to date on what's going on with that. And basically that's what my podcast has been. And a really good friend of mine, and not only him, there's been a couple people that have pointed out a couple things to me with their honest opinions. And I do appreciate the opinions, and I do appreciate people let me know about things when certain things happen in somebody's life, and if they're concerned about something or whatever. Just I got an open mind to to things. I got an open mind to suggestions and critiquing, or whatever you want to call it. I just have an open mind to that, suggestions. And a really good friend of mine opened my eyes last Friday, a week ago tomorrow, to where last week I had said something about my future plans. Well, to back up a little bit, I had talked about several topics, and the last one I talked about, I think I talked about Cinco de Mayo a little bit. I talked about, basically I talked about Mother's Day, because it was Mother's Day weekend. And then the last topic I talked about was called Standing Your Ground. And that was really more of a work-related thing, standing my ground, because we had a meeting at the workplace, and I kind of stood my ground with that. I kind of mentioned that and everything. But anyway, I talked about standing my ground, and I talked about making some changes, and I talked about projects I was involved in, and that if can't really support other people's projects and things like that. Well, that was I kind of speak in generalities and what that was, and I apologize because it was my fault on how I projected the comments, and I can see how some people would have taken that as being a negative thing. But anyway, I heard it and I soaked it in, and I got doing some thinking about it, and I've been doing a lot of thinking about this podcast and in my life in general, anyway. So we're just going to get it out there. So anyway, I talked about the standing the ground. It was a generality about like from work and things in the past with music in the past and just all kinds of different things, whether it be suggestions what I do with my life, just in my life in general, what I do with that, and just kind of like going with the flow with a lot of things that are going on, not just band or music stuff. But it got interpreted that I was not happy, to be honest, with my band I'm in and all this, which is totally not true. And we got it all cleared up, but it got me thinking about it. And I really do thank, he's like a brother to me. I really thank him for opening my eyes to some things. He was clearly concerned about me. I do appreciate that. And he's got a point. So anyway, I got to thinking about everything. And the last couple of years with the COVID and everything that's been going on, I've lost some really good friends, 2 really good friends to death, one from cancer, one from suicide. These things really affected me as time went on. And if you watch some of my previous podcasts, you'll see that. You'll hear me talking about these things. And I've been in a lot of bands growing up. And to be honest, all of them kind of fell short to what my expectations were growing up. I wanted to be this rock star. I wanted to just do big things with music when I first fell in love with music and in a band and in being in bands and things. I wanted to be this big. I wanted to be real successful. I think I said this before. I wanted to be like Eddie Van Halen, and it just seems like every time a band gets coming on and we get really going with it, or I get really going with it, something always happens that may not necessarily be my fault or anybody's fault. Things just happen where they don't meet the expectations that I thought. And that's really what I was kind of alluding to. And alluding to like, hey, I think from now on, I just got to really focus on me, my projects that I may be doing. That's not necessarily music, outside of music. So, and it was kind of a thing where I misled a lot and I was emotional. Anyway, it's kind of hard for me to talk about this, but it's true. It's hard for me to explain it. And I won't carry on too much but it's leading up to guys to what and gals of what I'm going to do with this podcast. So what I started doing really the last few months, last year stuff, and I started instead of my podcast being, hey, what do you guys think about this? And talk about lighthearted stuff. I was starting to vent a lot on this platform. I started just venting and maybe even in a sense kind of bitching about things and complaining. And that's not really where I wanted to go. And my brother, not my biological brother, but my brother and spiritual brother, one of my brothers from another mother, he opened up my mind and got me thinking about this a little bit. Yeah, I am kind of going places I don't really want to go on the podcast. So I stopped and thought about that for a while, and I made some decisions, which I'll go on with that. But really, the bottom line is I never meant to stray somebody or make them think something, or that I was upset with them, or I was going to do something and just throw it out there and not tell them what's on my mind. So as far as Crossroads Saints goes, I'm in the band. I'm happy with the band, and it was some personal things more than I was worried with the financial aspects of it, but we got it all cleared up. And like I said, I speak in generalities, and it should be everything, not just one thing, And I just felt like I needed a break. And I said, I'll let you guys know this fall. I can't tell you now, but I'll let you guys know this fall. Well, I'll let you guys know now, okay, what the aspect of that was. Again, the Saints are fine. Crossroads are fine. We've had our personal health issues that we're dealing with, every single one of us. And I talked about this before. Daryl was in a bad accident a year ago. he's recovering. We're recovering, but we all have our little personal health things going on. But that being aside, everything's fine. I'm on board. There's nothing, going on there. I wanted to clarify that first because I kind of miscommunicated that. Didn't mean to. So with that out of the way, the thing I was going to say, well, I'll let you guys know in the fall. Well, I just thought I'd just go ahead and let you know now. And what it is I'm going to put the podcast on hold. I'm not going to give it up, but we're going to change everything. So I'm going to take a break. Again, I thank all you guys for tuning in. I just had hearts on the last 4 or 5 from Lori. Thank you, Lori. You know who you are. That's on the Facebook side. I haven't had a chance to really check that, but I checked it just the other day. Thank you for the support and everything. My subscription people on this YouTube channel and Facebook. Facebook's been wonderful. I've had a lot of support on that. Now, I'm not giving up podcasting altogether. I just want to make, and I'm going to try to make this clear because this is live and not scripted. So I'm just talking. So I'm not going to give up the podcasting, but there's going to be a change in the platform. I got to go back to where I started from. I was getting away from that, as my good buddy pointed that out. I was getting away from that. And it was starting to get me into a little bit of trouble, quite honestly. I don't want to ever miscommunicate or, lead on to something's going on with some of my good friends. And I think in the future, it's just going to be totally changed. So when I come back, I think the podcast I'm going to take a break until after the fall, maybe like the first of, maybe right before the holidays start. I'll let you guys know. I'll put little bleeps up there every once in a while, little blogs, I guess, let you guys know where I'm going with this. But it's going to be totally changed. I'm going to change this whole studio around. Okay. So I got to go in and repaint and redo. And there's a lot of things I got to do in preparation for that. I got a lot on my plate right now. And one of them is Crossroads Saints. I'm concentrating on that group. Okay. And being a part of that band. And there's a lot of things outside of the music that I want to do as well around my house and in my private life. I'm married, so I have to do some things with the wife, and I have plans. Sometimes I guess you just kind of need a break because I was going on and on about, I was kind of going in places I really didn't want to go, complaining and griping about stuff. And really overall with everything that's going on in the world, my life's pretty good. So anyway, we're going to take a break, I guess, with all this, 12 minutes of talking. We're going to take a break from the podcast for a while. I'm not going anywhere. If you want to go back and watch some of the old episodes, they'll all be up on YouTube. I think some of them that are not so great, I may take them down. But we're going to redo the whole platform. I want to bring in more guests. I want to bring my pastor back on. So Woody, if you're watching, I'm definitely going to have you back on maybe a few times. I'm going to change topics. And like I said, more guests. Change the topics. I don't think I'm going to cross-pollinate my music with my podcast. I started doing that just for promotion kind of thing. And I think that kind of gets in the way of things. So not that we won't ever talk about music, but we're just going to kind of change the whole platform. I'm going to get back to what I originally wanted to do with this thing. I'd kind of gotten away from it. So we're going to make things a little more interesting. But thanks again for standing by me for the last 2 or so years. So if there's any questions, just comment or drop me a line and I'll be more than glad to answer. Like I said, I'm not leaving podcasting. I'm pretty positive I'm not going to. We're just going to change it up a bit and I'm going to take a break. This is May and we'll see. It'll probably be June, July, August, September, October. Maybe around Halloween, I may start back up with the Halloween graveyard thing that I normally do. We'll come back at Halloween to do the podcast, but I just got a lot of things going on in my life personally right now. And like I said, my good friend, he opened my eyes to a lot of things with it. And I got to really thinking about it. And even before we had our meeting on Friday, I was thinking about the future of this podcast. So that's really what it was. The future of the podcast. That was the big reveal in fall, is that this thing, I'll let you know later, but this is what it is. And if I have anything come up musically with Crossroads Saints, we have a YouTube. You guys know that we have a website with Crossroads Saints. So anything going on with Crossroads Saints, it'll be on those platforms. Anything that I do personally will be on my Johnny Allen music one I have. I have a Johnny Allen music Facebook and that. And I'm actually going to redo that too, okay? And really the thing is with me, kind of getting to the music thing again, kind of maybe clarifying it a little more. With me personally, outside of Crossroads Saints, the only thing I'm going to do with music is just write stuff for placements for a while. That's really all I've been wanting to do for a while anyway. So personally, that's what I'm planning on doing. And I may write a tribute song, started writing a tribute song for my good friend Rob. But kind of getting back to the music thing, why I was getting kind of I was kind of getting down in a hole, so to speak, you know. I was, lost on my good friend. And then I'd had a band called the Hopeful Band that I started. You guys probably know, if you follow me, you've seen the history. My good friend Rob died of cancer. He was the lead vocalist of that band. And when he passed away, of course, that was a downer. That was hard. That band disappeared because, he was a big part of it. We never got back together. It just ended. And then, of course, all excited about Crossroads Saints. And when Daryl got in his accident, almost took his life. That was another, double whammy, triple whammy. Because of my first friend that, died from suicide. So it's like bang, bang, bang. I didn't, and no pun intended, but my good friends just fallen, and it was a lot of stuff going on at once. So I was getting kind of disappointed and just feeling bummed out about all that stuff, which is understandable, But so anyway, Crossroads Saints, we're doing it right now. We got gigs planned. We'll just, like I said, go to that website, have all the updates on that. I'm going to do placement music probably in the winter. I got way behind. Things just got away from me. Redoing the studio, and I'll be back podcasting probably late fall, early winter this year. And I'll keep you guys posted. So anyway, like I said, again, if there's any questions, I love all the support. Like I said, the hearts that you gave me, Lori, and everything was fantastic. And the supports I have with the chat, Sir Charles, and everybody else. But I just don't want any misunderstandings on this platform. I certainly don't want anybody to be upset with me and feel like I just don't want any negativity on the platform, this podcast. And I was kind of going down that rabbit hole. And I want to back it up, And like I said, I got reconstruction to do in the studio. I know it's long-winded, but hopefully that explains why I'm going to shut this down, the podcast, for, about 6 months, 6 to 7 months. But I'll let you guys know. And when it comes back, it's going to be ramped up. It's going to be better. It's going to be more upbeat, interesting, and just great. But thanks for the support. But anyway, we're going to go to talk about coffee now. Like I said, if there's any questions, just let me know on me in the future of the podcast. So anyway, I love coffee, and there you go, guys. There's the red mug. I just discovered those coffee roaster. I just discovered this, in April. I got the links to that. There it is. The great coffee, red mug coffee roasters. Suggest you go try them out. Try them out. Black Rifle Coffee. Gosh, guys, love this stuff. Black Rifle Coffee. And, I got a few of them today. Trader Joe's. Yeah. Trader Joe's, that medium roast. Oh, it's good stuff. That's Joe. Trader Joe's Joe. Okay. It's good coffee. I like it. And you know what? If you just want to go to Kroger and get something, that's what I'm drinking right now. That's not bad. Kroger brand. It's this one. It's a Supreme Blend, medium flavored, or medium roast rather, coffee from Kroger. Again, thanks guys for everything, all the support. Tim DeBrewer, when you had the former CWE coffee maker, thanks for letting me endorse your coffee for like a couple years. Kudos to my good friend Tony out there in Las Vegas. Thank you, Tony, for starting it up. Kudos to Daryl for opening my eyes, and kudos to Daryl for having the best photograph of him, the best coffee mug. He sometimes I gotta share. Early on in my podcast, he had shared a picture of a coffee mug, and I love the picture. It's great. There's so many people I can thank. Thank you, Lori. Thank you. Pastor Woody, Steve. I will have you on in the fall when we go to having guests. I I got a lot of work to set that up to do that effectively. And I can't always use the studio that I used when Pastor Woody and I did it. But I want to thank all those people. I want to thank everybody that's ever supported it. I sound like I'm ending it. I'm not really ending it, but I am. It's going to go on like a 6-month hiatus. And this platform that I'm using right here is pretty much going to be. It's going to be different. Everything's going to be different. So, and I think it'll be exciting. My batteries will be recharged. The equipment will be updated. It's just going to be better all the way around. And hopefully, you take a risk of when you shut something down and start back up and hope that it does okay. But I'm willing to take that. I'm 58 years old now, guys, and I've really been thinking a lot about a lot of things lately. And that's been one. I enjoy the podcast. It's been a good therapy, I guess, for me or whatever, a good outlet. But I don't want to become too personal, and I just don't want to send negative vibes out. So we're going to refocus that. But I reassure you, personally, myself, I'm doing fine. I'm doing great, actually. I feel the last few days I've been feeling great physically, mentally, spiritually. Everything has been pretty good. So we're just going to take a break. Like you guys, like I said in the past too, I'm a vintage car owner. I'm into all that stuff, restoration of the car. I got furniture to restore. And every once in a while, I may just take a video on my phone and throw it up there so you guys can see what I'm doing. That's it. All right, on the live stream. Okay, got a few of them coming in. Thanks for sharing the live stream. It says, John, take a break. Thanks for everything. We'll come back. Thank you. That's Chad I missed where he was from. Hey, Chad. Thank you, Chad. Here's another one. I'll read some of these that are coming in. It's on the live chat. Sarah from Louisiana. Hi, Sarah. Johnny, I really like your vibe. I've checked a few of your podcasts out. I really like it. I hope everything's good, and I do hope you return in the fall. Yeah, I promise I will. Let's see. Another one. They're starting to come in now. The chats. Here's another chat on the chat, live chat. Let's see. Linda from the Ozarks. Okay. All right. Cool vibe. Everybody needs a break. Peace, brother. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I'm not going to stay on too much longer. Like I said, I'll see you guys in the fall, and every once in a while I'll do a blog to let you know what's going on. If you want to keep track of the Crossroads Saints, what's going on, go to our website, www.crossroadssaints.com. You'll find it. Just Google Crossroads Saints. You'll find it. Go to my webpage. It's got the links. Let's see. Trying to think of what else. Brian in let's see, Pennsylvania. Oh, okay. Hershey, Pennsylvania. That's one of my favorite places. The chocolate is great there. He says, understand, man, I did a podcast for about a year and a half, got burnt, had to shut it down, and understand where you're coming from. Okay, thank you so much. And don't get me wrong, guys, I really do enjoy the podcast. It's just that I need a break, and I need to change it. And like I said, I got a lot of work to do in this. So anyway, next month, or this month, actually, a couple weeks, actually, we got what's called an Indianapolis 500 coming up. And I believe it's Sunday the 29th. It is. It's Sunday the 29th of May. It's the day before Memorial. It's a Sunday before Memorial Day, right? It's a great event. If you get a chance to check it out, check it out. It's great. Indianapolis 500. Been seeing it for years. Gone a few times. Really like it. One last thing I'd like to add as far as racing goes. I had watched the Kentucky Derby last weekend, Mother's Day, with Mom. And I never was a big horse race fan. But I have to admit, this last one I watched it, I kind of liked it. I thought it was pretty good. I did enjoy it. So, but anyway, guys, that's about all I got. It's kind of a weird kind of farewell, but it's not really a farewell. It's a break. It's not really a farewell. It's a break, right? And like I said, every once in a while, I'll just come in and see what's going on and let you know what's going on. I do want to thank the people that have supported. and continue to support, because like I said, I'm going to come back and it's going to be better. It's going to be more uplifting, better podcast. Going to try not to cross pollinate subjects so much, because that gets a little bit of confusing. And like I said, apologize if there's any confusion down the road with anything. If I misled or whatever, it's not really, it wasn't meant. And we know that. Coffee's mighty fine. Weather's mighty fine. Anyway, God bless everybody. I do pray for this world and everything. And when I come back, hopefully things will be a lot better in the world. Hopefully, maybe, I don't know. But if not, we'll try to keep it positive here. And I'm going to bring on I really want to concentrate on bringing on the guests, because as everybody knows, it's fun to feed off each other. Before I go, actually, what I need is I need, and I'd like to have a podcast partner who I can broadcast with. Oh, I want to also thank Chris and Daniel down there in Texas. So hopefully they're doing well with the Box Kickers Talking Sports. I haven't talked to those guys for a while. Shout out to Roundtable Recording, great recording studio. Shout out to Life Point Church, one of the best churches around. I just thank everybody who's supported and I've been involved with. Yeah, like I said, it almost sounds like a goodbye, but it's not. It's just it's a break. It's a break. That's it. Thank you, Tamika. I'll say, Tamika, you were one of my first subscribers on YouTube. I do appreciate it. Thank you, Tamika. But anyway, you guys have a nice summer and everything. Everything's going to be good. I can't wait to catch back up and let you guys know what's going on and see what you think about the new setup I'm going to have. And I think we're going to start getting kind of comical. I think we're going to go more comedy. When I started this thing, 4 years ago, I think it was 4 years ago to the day, really, I started a podcast as a guest with Tony, and it was called Out of the Box with John and Tony. And we did the flat earth theory. I'll never forget that. If you're watching, Tony, we did the flat earth theory. Boy, did we get a lot of comments on that. I mean, we had the haters because we said the world's not flat, and boy, they were coming after us. And we talked about a little bit about everything, conspiracy theories and things like that. I wouldn't mind touching on that again a little bit, but yeah, I think I'm going to go back to the 2 people deal. And at least with most of them, it's going to be kind of like Out of the Box was. I mean, I'll give you guys a kind of an insight before I go, what the new podcast will be. It's going to be kind of like Out of the Box, like we had, that was good. I like that. And I need to line up a switcher and some things like that, because I've just been doing this solo now for basically like 2 years. So we are going to go more that direction. Thanks for hanging with me. I appreciate it. And I'm just going to go. You guys have a nice summer, early fall, and hope everything's great. I appreciate you guys supporting the channel. Continue to support the channel. Continue to keep your subscription, because I'm going to leave the YouTube channel up. So it's not going anywhere. And we're just going to change formats and everything when I go. And I'll leave some of the good videos from the past up there that you might be interested in. And we're going to start fresh with new ones. And that's just how it's going to roll. I think I'll keep the same thing, the Johnny Allen 30-minute podcast. I have my guest on that's going to work with me. We may change that title a little bit, but it'll be under the same channel. So I'm not pulling the channel down. That's all I got. I'm going to get some things done around here, some improvements. I got to work out with Crossroads Saints. I got to focus on what's going on. And that's about it. So I've enjoyed Thursday nights. I'll let you know if it's going to continue to be Thursday nights or if it might be a Friday night thing or it might be multiple nights. I just don't know yet. That's still in the works. And but it'll be great. I promise it's going to be a lot better. Anyway, thanks again, everybody, for hanging with me. I'm going to end the live stream. We'll see you in about 6-7 months, I guess. That's the plan anyway. Okay, the Lord willing, I'll see you then. So thanks again for all the comments and the likes and subscribing and sharing and gosh, it's kind of weird, but I'll say I'll see you guys soon, but it'll be here before you know it. Like I said, any questions, just comment. and I'll answer 'em. All right. Love you all. See ya.